welcome to another episode of Lexx Education. It's the comedy science podcast where comedian me, Laura Lexx, tries to learn science from her nerdy, normal, younger brother, Ron.
Hello, I'm Ron.
Hi, Ron. I've
Hiya.
also got nephew of the podcast here.
Producer nephew.
Hello.
Hello.
He just threw some fruit at me.
Good, you need your vitamins.
Yeah. How are you, Ron?
Yeah, I'm good.
Oh, well, elaborate for us. Why don't you? God, shut up, Ron. You're talking too much.
I think I've been talked about this on the podcast already, but I'm livid because it turns out the porridge people were right the whole time, and it's 12:05 now, and I haven't even thought about lunch yet. I ate at 8:05, my breakfast. I had a small bowl of porridge with some raisins, bananas, and a little scoop of peanut butter in it, with flaxseed and chia seeds, and I feel great.
I love how into foods you get, because I know in 6 weeks' time I'm going to ask you about porridge, and you'll be like, my porridge days are done. I do this now, and you will think that that is the answer to all your problems.
Yeah.
You're a very, whatever new recipe I've just discovered is the answer to all my problems kind of a guy.
Yeah.
I like that for you, Ron. I'm glad that a simple bowl of porridge can make you so happy.
I don't know. I've started making the lunch salads, and I've stuck on that as a train, and now I've just fixed my breakfast. And then because both of those things are healthy, I can then have delicious, delicious dinners.
Yeah. Are you still into bulgur wheat?
I still eat a lot of bulgur wheat, yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. I've solved some of my bread making issues, Ron.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I was having trouble with my bread not rising. Here's the thing. I was making two mistakes. One, I was over-proving. Two, one of the recipes that I followed said about putting it in a very hot oven for a couple of minutes and then turning the oven down. No, it was killing my yeast. Now I'm doing it all on a very medium temperature, and it's rising beautifully.
Send pics. Love bread.
Will do. We literally only spoke last night. It's our third recording of the week, isn't it, Ron?
Yeah, but that's not out of prolific content. That's out of mismanagement.
Yeah, we forgot to record last night. Hang on, youngest sister of the podcast is saying something to me. What?
So promo, we recorded the world's most amazing Patreon.
That's what we're working into. Oh, look at all those pigeons. 100 pigeons just flew past the window, Ron. Wow. Anyway, yes, we recorded. We've done the results to the higher tier biology, and then last night we recorded a pretty extra special Patreon episode where youngest sister of the podcast presented us with 3 true crime stories. Wait, no, she didn't. She presented us with 2 true crime stories and a false crime story. And Ron and I listened to all 3 stories and then had to try and work out which one was a lie. And it was mega, wasn't it, Ron?
Yeah, straight from the sick and twisted mind of youngest sister of the podcast.
Yeah.
She's a sick fuck.
Yeah. I'm very excited about that one. And it's going out. When is it going out, Ron? It's going out on the 6th of December as one of our Christmas bonuses. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Speaking of the Patreon, I want to announce the changes I've planned next week when we do
Next week you
intros,
want to
outros.
do that. Okay.
Next week I want to do that. So everybody watch this space.
All right, I'm interested. Yes, next week will be your birthday on the Patreon. I've got to watch Interstellar on Sunday night. I'm not excited. Oh, I saw a still from it, and it was just Matthew McConaughey looking really sad with a child.
Ah, he is fit though.
Yeah, he looked really young.
He's just a very handsome man.
Oh, I can't hear you. What are you saying?
I'll be gone by then, so your life will suck.
Oh, yeah. Youngest sister of the podcast is leaving on Sunday. I think that's why I've got the blues today. You know when you're not looking forward to something, so your body starts getting sad about it 5 days before, and you're like, well, now you're ruining all the time where it's not happening.
I don't get that.
Ugh, I do.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, so today we've got a tiny break today in the exam onslaught because we're going to look at some exam prep. Ron has scoured the BBC Bite Size website to try and find some help for me before we get into the higher tier exams. So we're going to look at some psychological help, some exam tips and tricks, and yeah, that's what we're doing today.
Yeah, we've done one of the higher tier exams now. Spoiler alert, didn't help at all.
Shut up, Ron. Anyway, I'm not going to talk about it. But I got some of the first question right. So screw you, Ron. Okay, enjoy.
Oh, we've connected with someone on Instagram.
Have we now?
Oh, they want us to pay them $297, though, to be published on MSN.com.
We're not going to do
Fuck
that.
me. No. Anywho, it's time for exam prep, Laura. How are you feeling about that?
Hey, I gigged with Dylan Moran last night.
Dylan Moran.
Dylan Moran.
Does he pronounce it Moran?
Moran? Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. It seems like there was a massive delay then, but it might just be because you're distracted.
No, you were just correcting my pronunciation.
Yeah, that's true. Does he really not pronounce it Moran?
No, I think it's Moran. That's what I was saying on stage last night, anyway.
That's cool. He's a funny man.
He's a very funny man.
Yeah.
And almost gave him a lift home, but then he decided he didn't want to.
How did he get home?
He stayed in a hotel.
Okay. That's fair, because if he was a bit like, oh, thanks for the offer of a lift, but I'm going to get the bus.
No.
Well, Laura, we're going to do exam prep today.
Okay, Ron.
So this is something that you asked for before we go on to higher tier. We'll do 1 or 2 episodes of this, depending on how much we get through, so that you feel more prepared going into the higher tier. Before we get into this, how do you want to reflect on your on how you did on foundation?
I think I did well.
Great. Thanks. All right, into the body of the episode.
Shut up, Ron. I think I did well in terms of the features of stuff. Like, for example, if we're
that
talking
mean?
about... I'm trying to explain, and this is the problem, I think. Like, when it was multiple choice, I really knew the answers because I think I know the meat and potato bones of the podcast. But when I have to string it all in a sentence, it's like trying to re-explain a dream I've had. You know when you're thinking about a dream and you really know how it all connected, but then when you have to put it together, the tendons are a bit loose and you don't quite know how to, like, structure it properly, and I think that's where I fall down, and that's why I'm very worried about higher tier, because I think higher tier is going to have fewer multiple choice options. And I think when it's multiple choice, I do understand the concepts of the science, I just don't understand it well enough to explain it to someone.
Okay, that's fair enough. And that's why I suggested that we should do an episode like this, because doing exams is just a skill. You get good at doing exams. Like, part of the reason why I did well at school is because I'm good at exams. I'm not necessarily I was never necessarily one of the smartest kids in the room all the time. Well, some of the time. But, I'm just quite good at exams.
I think I peaked at primary school.
I peaked at college.
Yeah. Looking back now, I think I was the
when you were writing those
most...
pornos for those other kids.
Yeah. I think I was quite smart, and then I just never really went anywhere with any of it.
Yeah, I mean, I went to a very prestigious university, and here I am just striving for the middle every day.
I went to a university very few people have heard of, and I am making a real ass groove in the middle. I've been here for years. It's lovely.
Well, Laura, mediocre no longer. Let's get you good at exams so that you can pass this higher tier GCSE.
And then I will no longer be the mediocre. If 22 years later I can recreate what I already achieved at 16, then I will be a success.
We'll see whether you peaked. They say you do your GCSEs twice. Once on the way up and once on the way down. So the first thing that we're going to do today, Laura, today's episode, by the way, listener, is sponsored by...
Sorry, you're peaking quite a lot. Can you turn your gain down because you haven't got your pop shield on?
How's that?
Say what you were saying before. This episode is sponsored.
The episode is sponsored by BBC Bite Size.
Yeah, that's better. Except the internet went through to you, so can you say that again without...
This episode is sponsored by BBC Bite Size.
Lovely.
When I was a kid doing BBCs, the BBC Bite Size website was all about fish, like little piranhas biting things. Like,
yes,
that was like the
I
mascot.
remember that.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not like that anymore. It's much more...
I think you could access
no
it
nonsense.
via the red button when we had Sky.
Oh, yeah. That and the little bee game.
Beehive Bedlam. Oh, God, I think about that so much.
Bedlam.
I've been
Do you know
playing
what
a
I
game
think
on my
about all the
phone,
time
Ron.
as well? The end of Nanny McPhee, where the baby's just going, beehive, beehive. We're just trying to say behave, and like that's like the nugget of the film.
I've been playing this game, Ron.
No, I'm not
very-
talking about Beehive Bedlam. There was one where you were a bee and you had to walk around in the hive.
Oh, I don't remember that game.
Sky Bee game. It wasn't Beehive. Oh, you can play Beehive Bedlam on Google Play.
Can you? I don't have Google Play. Do I?
Yes, someone's got the exact same specific memory as me. Old Sky game involving bees. Firstly, I am not thinking of Beehive Bedlam, where you shoot balls
I think
on
this
the
is
cannon
you've
thing.
made this post and then forgotten you've made this
It
post.
is. This person is my absolute fucking icon. This is literally the first 2 sentences. Firstly, I am not thinking of Beehive Bedlam, where you shoot balls on the cannon thing to make the other ones drop. It is not Beehive Bedlam. It's where you're an old bee game. You involve controlling a bee to go through the 2D house platform, and you had to escape or something. There were ladders and other bee guards. I'm sure the name was called. The name of this game was Beehive Bumble, but yeah, who? Bumble Tumble. No. Beehive Jumble Fever? Someone else is saying it was called Beehive Bedlam, but he's
Clearly said not.
Did I
Beehive
not just
Bedlam.
say? Did I not just
stutter?
say? Did I not just say Beehive Bedlam is where you fire a ball out of the cannon? I love this person.
That person feels like they should listen to this podcast. We should make another podcast where we're tracking down that person to tell them that they'd love this podcast.
Yeah. Well, yeah, unfortunately they've used a throwaway, and this was 10 years ago, so...
Shit. That just makes it a better documentary when we find them, I think.
Yeah, I think it was called Bumble Tumble, but there's no trace of it online anymore. No, just searched Bumble. Oh,
This genuinely feels like what a lot of my exam prep was like as a teenager, by the way. Except the internet didn't really exist like it does now, so it was a lot of playing in Carter.
Someone's thinking about... Anyway, right. So the first thing that we're going to do, Laura, on BBC Bite Size is I found a quiz called What Are Your Study Strengths? So we'll get into that, okay? And we'll find out what... It says, do you ever think about how you think? This might read like a riddle or trick, but thinking about how you think and learn is actually a process called metacognition.
All right, BBC Bite Size. You want to be my therapist now, do you?
Laura, where is the
Yes.
best place for you to study to support your learning?
In public, where I am judged every week.
At home, a friend's house, cafe, on the way to/from school, on the bus or train, library. I find it easy to study anywhere.
At a friend's house.
What's your most used study tool?
My brother.
Daily planner,
He is a tool.
revision group chat, textbooks, timer, noise-cancelling headphones, or highlighters and colourful pens?
Colourful pens. I think we all knew the answer to that one, didn't we?
What's your go-to revision technique?
Panic.
Being tested by friends? Going over notes? Flashcards? Or mind maps?
Maybe being tested by brothers?
We're not friends.
No.
Where's the closest?
We're all friends.
What's most important to you when studying? Not getting distracted, using specific memory techniques, e.g. mnemonics, songs, making sure you cover every topic, taking breaks, using a variety of techniques.
Taking breaks.
Not songs, you sing all the time.
Yeah, but I prefer when we're not studying.
Yeah, that's fair. Where do you go if you get stuck or need help?
Shouting?
Reputable websites? Teacher? Try a different technique? Family or friends? Textbooks? Old notes?
Well, not old notes. Not old notes. Not the teacher, because the teacher's usually swearing at me and calling me a silly. What were the options again?
Reputable websites? Teacher? Try a different technique? Family or friends? Textbooks? Old notes?
I think I just give up.
No,
If
you
I
ask
can't do
me.
Oh, okay.
I think family or friends.
Are you teacher or family or friends?
I guess I'm teacher. I'm teacher, family and friend.
Wow. That's a lot. Next question, Ron.
You haven't answered this one.
I did.
You
I
just
said.
zoned out, dissociated. Which one do you want to fucking pick? I find it very ironic that this is the one that you've gotten stuck on.
I told you, it's none of the above. They should give that as an
I
option.
don't have an option for that. Which one do you want me to choose?
Teacher, because you don't feel like my family or friend when we're here.
What part of school helps you learn the best?
Lunch.
Having a variety of different subjects each day. After
Yeah, that's
school
pretty
clubs, breaks to recharge, or working with friends.
Working with friends.
What's the first thing you do before starting your study sesh?
Check that it is recording.
Organise desk or materials? Make a to-do
like-
list or schedule?
you
Set
remember
up a
that
video
episode where
call
I
with
was-
peers?
Do you remember that episode where I was tidying my desk? I love our podcast.
It's good. Set up a video call with peers or turn off notifications?
Oh, well, I've never turned off notifications. Don't be stupid. Probably set up a video call with peers.
Yeah.
Morgan.
Okay,
To
Laura.
discuss that bitch Meghan Markle. Am I right?
Whatever happened to her? Is she okay?
Yeah, they live in California. Prince William's grown a beard.
Do you think she'll ever be one of the real housewives?
Oh, wouldn't that be delicious?
Anyway, Laura, you are good at collaborative studying. You enjoy studying when you work with others. Some good ways to study this way are quizzing each other using flashcards, explaining topics by giving your friends a brain dump, or going... That's one of the few things in this paragraph that doesn't have a hyperlink, and there's no explanation what that means. Or going through past papers and answers together.
Well, thanks for that. I knew that. I told them that.
Look, I'm just trying to help. Okay.
How is that in any way helpful?
While studying collaboratively can be a great strategy, it's important to know how to study on your own too. So fuck off with your best method. Do it a different way, you stupid worm.
Absolute waste of 10 minutes that was. BBC wank size.
Shite size, more like.
Yeah, Ron. Good one.
All
My
right.
foot's gone a really weird colour, Ron.
So the next bit that I've picked out for us to go through, Laura.
Look, Ron, look. Look at this.
Oh, fucking hell. Looks like an ulcer.
Look at how the bruising has gone up my toe.
Yep.
Why's that happened?
I don't know.
You're a
so
doctor.
So sick of hearing about your troll hooves on this podcast.
That's not kind. That is not kind.
No, but you need to. You need to stop knackering them.
I just did one thing and it's just weird.
2 things.
What else did I do? Oh, I did the
You
walks.
walked around the Isle of Wight and then moaned about that for a really long time.
Yeah. I think I should be carried around in a sedan chair. I wish I was a princess.
Anyway, Laura,
I don't
the next
feel
page,
well.
the next page that I've picked out for you is called Revision. What to do if you've left it late.
22 years late.
So, for some reason, on this page, and the next couple of ones I looked through, but I don't think we'll go into those ones, they just start introducing people as if they're characters that you know of in your revision.
Maybe
So,
they are. Maybe they've been there through the studying in the syllabus.
No, they haven't. I use BBC Bite Size a decent amount, like prepping for lessons. Yeah.
You did prep for the lessons?
Yeah, some of them. According to Millie, starting your revision as soon as you can really help.
Fucking Millie, fuck off. Because this whole section is entitled I've Left It Too Late. And now Millie's here like, I started last year. Well, fuck you, Millie. You've got less shit going on than I have. Do you have a 2-year-old, Millie? Probably not.
I'll send you a picture of Millie as well. She
No,
seems smug.
I don't want to see Millie. Millie's probably had tutors through the entire fucking thing. I suppose
Yeah.
I have as well. I'm having one-to-one tutoring. Fuck off, Millie.
That's what she looks like as well. Just like, oh, should have started last week.
Oh, God, look at her. Oh, naff off, Millie. Ugh. She's the sort of person that would start rumours that she'd had sex with somebody's dad.
Baxter says that there's always time to make a difference. You just have to believe in yourself.
Thanks, Baxter. Thanks. Are you a Disney cat?
Shay says it's important to focus on yourself during GCSE exam season. You can't influence how other people's exams go, and they can't influence how yours go. So he says to just concentrate on yourself.
What does that mean? What does that mean, though, Shay? In terms of electrons and which ring they go in, how is that helpful? No one else has taken this exam except me.
I don't know. Rowan says if you're feeling short on time, definitely go to someone for help. Your teacher should be able to help prioritise things for you. Don't be tempted to pull an all-nighter. They never help.
Yes, they do. That's the only way I got my degree.
Yeah, but that's different. Pulling an all-nighter for an exam is a bad idea. Doing it to write an essay, that's fine. That gets the essay done.
Oh, yeah, I suppose an all-nighter the night before is a bad idea, but you could pull some in the run-up.
Yeah. Dr. Rada says to stay calm and remind yourself there's always something you can do.
Yeah, like there's jobs that don't even require GCSEs. And if this podcast has proved anything, it's that I think I got an A for this when I did it 22 years ago. You can do it. You can get great results and then just forget it all on a slow leak while the actual important things in life happen to you.
Jacintha always wrote down an answer when she did her GCSE exams. Even if she was really stuck on a question, she'd put a star next to it, then move on and came back to it later with a fresh head.
Sounds like Jacintha didn't have a teacher that spent 2 years saying, don't just say things.
Yeah, well, yeah. No, I'm not seeing a transcript of any of these kids' GCSEs. They might be dunces.
Yeah.
Anyway, the next bit is more advice if you're feeling unprepared. Here's some advice from Anxiety Josh and Ellie Simmons. So these were both videos.
Hi, kids. I'm Anxiety Josh.
Don't, because hang on, let me send you a picture of Anxiety Josh, because it's not good for old Ron's self-esteem. Hang on.
Oh, no, he doesn't look like that snowman, Ron, that made you sad for a while, is he?
The snowman that made me sad for a while.
Yeah, do you remember when... Oh, Ron, it's you. That's you if you were Irish. Yeah, do you remember when that snowman film, Ron's Gone Wrong, came out and you got really sad for ages?
No.
Yeah, there was this film called Ron's Gone Wrong, and it came out and there were loads of adverts on buses, and you were not in a good place mental health wise at the time, and you really couldn't cope with all these buses driving around that said Ron's Gone Wrong.
Was this
on
last
the
year?
side. No, it was I think it was before you moved to Brussels, in that not so good time when you were job hunting.
Oh.
Do you remember that deep dark spot?
Yeah, that was a bad 9 weeks.
Yeah, and all of Brighton had buses driving around with Ron's Gone Wrong written on the side of them.
Yeah.
And you could not cope.
Well, Anxiety Josh doesn't look like that. Anxiety...
He looks like you.
Yeah. Anxiety Josh and the Ellie Simmons bit, these were both videos. So I had...
Ellie Simmons?
Ellie Simmons, yeah.
Oh, that's not Kimmy Schmidt, is it? She's a...
That's Ellie Kemper.
Yeah,
Hello.
she's an Olympian?
Yeah. So Anxiety Josh did one when you're feeling anxious. So he had 3 tips.
Who is Anxiety Josh somebody then? Is he like a YouTuber
That's
or
Anxiety
something?
Josh. I'll send you a picture of him.
Yeah, I know, but is he someone? Because Ellie Simmons is a celebrity. Is Anxiety Josh like a guy that we know?
I don't know.
Anxiety Josh. Oh, did I tell you? Oh, yeah, I think it's a podcast. I think Anxiety Josh is a person. Yeah.
Well, fair play.
Oh, yeah, he's got like nearly 250,000 followers on Instagram. Well done, Anxiety Josh.
Yeah.
Lives in Manchester. Did I tell you what Child of the Podcast said to me the other day?
No.
We were driving home from this dance class that she goes to, and she was sitting in the back and she just went, I hit Frank. And I was like, oh, did you? Yeah. I was like, why did you hit Frank? She just went, because Frank was sad.
Who's Frank?
Frank's just another kid. And I did check with Frank's dad and the teacher, so I'm like, is everything been okay? And I don't know if she was telling the truth or if maybe like this Frank kid got sad and was ruining the vibe at dance class and she just wanted to hit him. But it really made me laugh, the idea that this kid was sad and Child of the Podcast is just like, stop it. Snap out of it.
That's not what Anxiety Josh would say.
No,
I
think she's the anti-anxiety Josh.
Yeah.
She's the tough measures Josh.
Tough measures.
I'm going to rename her. Tough measures Josh.
Anyway, he had 3 tips for you, Laura.
One for sucking, one for fondling, and one for flicking.
Try not to feel guilty and beat yourself up.
Oh, thanks, Anxiety Josh. If I could do that, I'd be a very different person, buddy.
And then
Jesus. I hate it when people say try not to feel ... You can't. There's no logical way to change your feelings.
This next tip, and this is what really fucks me up about all of these bits, is that the next one is, you've still got some time. No, I don't. That's why I'm talking to you, Anxiety Josh. I'm out of time.
Also, I'm actively procrastinating by reading this Anxiety Josh bullshit instead of just revising. Yeah. I could be spending this time revising, not being told not to look at Jacintha's paper.
Even more galling, Laura, is his third one is, It's a lesson for the future. You won't.
Oh, fuck off,
up
Josh.
like this
You
again.
probably got paid like thousands of pounds from the BBC. Taxpayer money you got paid there. Welching off old people who pay for their licence fee for Anxiety Josh to wheel out some meaningless platitudes to children that are going to fail their exams, not get into Oxford, and then the same old Nepo babies will run the country forever. And you, Anxiety Josh, are part of the problem.
Then Ellie Simmons pipes up in a.
I hope she says, I hit Josh because he was sad.
The dildo company got back to me. Hi, Laura. Thanks for your response. Here's our product link. They will send us one of these, Laura, and give us £50.
Oh!
It's the Ultra Orgasmic Sex Toys Vibrator Dildo plus water-based lubricating gel tube 4-in-1 adult toys thrusting dildo masturbator with lube. It's got a proper bell end. And it fucks you 4 different ways, because...
I didn't know I could be fucked 4 different ways.
Yeah.
What are the 4 ways?
Hang on, where's it gone? It's got vibration, thrusting, clitoral sucking, and tongue licking.
I don't want to. How are you going to use it?
Oh, up the chuff, I guess. I guess 2 out of 4 are wasted on me, but I don't think that should stop me from getting involved. I tell you what they have done well, though. Do you know what the lube brand is called?
I don't know, Ron.
Lubido. That's good work.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, well, I'll email her back in a bit.
Please don't say yes. I don't want £50 that much. Sorry to deprive the podcast of money, Ron, but I don't think I can talk to you about how nice the 4-way fucking was, even for £25 each.
That's very funny. It's very funny. What's really upsetting about it, though, is that it looks like it's got a proprietary charger.
What does that mean? What's proprietary charger mean?
As in, like, not like USB-C or, you know, like when you buy something
got its own one.
Yeah, and you have to use that one. That would be frustrating. Oh, that was funny. Okay, right, back to GCSEs. So Ellie Simmons pipes up and...
She says, really, the clitoral sucking was the bit that really interested me.
No, so Ellie Simmons' video was called When You Feel Unprepared, and she gave us 5 tips of what to do when we feel unprepared.
5 tips is one better than the ultra.
Anywho, she says talk to other people.
Right.
She really caned through this video, to be honest. Like, I think, yeah, Anxiety Josh spent quite a lot longer on 3 points than she spent on 5. She also said, write things down.
Write what down?
Things.
Just your name, hello, in all of your different gel pens. What are we writing?
Then she said, use past experiences. Think of other times you were unprepared.
Yeah, that's why I'm so scared about this time I'm unprepared, because last time I was unprepared, it was dreadful.
Then she said, be aware and control the controllables. You can't control what you can't control.
Is she high? Like, is she very out of it when giving this advice?
Maybe. Because number 5, I shit you not, and this is barely even me paraphrasing, she just went, you'll be okay, don't worry.
I mean, the thing is, she's right on that one. If there's anyone I'm going to give her props for, it's that one, because these don't matter. All you need the GCSEs for is to get into college, and then you just start again, and no one ever asks about your GCSEs ever again. So genuinely don't worry. It's all meaningless. Everything's meaningless. We're all going to drown.
Agreed. Okay, Laura, I've got... do you want stress tips? Are you stressed?
No, I want science tips.
Okay, we'll skip that one then.
I want to know how... I don't want to know how to, feel zen whilst failing an exam. I want to know how...
To do well at the exams.
My intelligence out of my brain and onto an exam paper.
Okay, well, here's 3 do's and don'ts for your exams.
Right, okay.
Okay, do's. Any do's? You think any? What would your 3 do's be?
Do. Formulate the whole answer in your head before committing it to paper.
1.
Go with your gut.
But go with your gut all in your head.
Well, I'm not saying hold the whole exam in your head, but I think my sentences are better when I've thought about them before I say them.
Is that not going with your head, not your gut?
No, but these are 2 different things. So, sometimes I will think of the answer. I'm thinking about dust specifically, and then I will overthink it to the point where I have no idea. And in that case, just go with the answer that feels right.
Yeah, that's fair. And then number 3?
If you're stuck on something, don't spend too long there. Move on. Make sure you've answered everything you definitely know the answer to before going back and working on the stuff you don't necessarily know the answer to, because you don't want to leave easy, low-hanging fruit.
Yeah, that's actually one of them. So they say stop and reset. If your mind goes blank during an exam, it's perfectly fine to take some time, get back on track, and then come back to it. Maybe fold down the corner of the paper and come back to it. So maybe in higher tier will give you the ability to do that. You can...
Hey, do you remember when you were doing SATs and it was that answer sheet where you had to put A, B, C or D, and you had to put a little pencil marker in the little box?
No, I'm much, much younger than you. Mine was proper answers.
I think they got marked in a computer, they just
a Scantron
thing and got scanned. Yeah.
I had done, because when I was at secondary school, there was lots of stuff for gifted children. So I used to do extra maths exams, and some of those were like that.
They were satisfying.
Yeah.
They were all in pink and red colours.
Look after yourself.
This is not helpful.
Get a good night's sleep on the run-up to your exams, but especially the night before.
I don't want this. I want...
Eat a sensible diet.
No, fuck off.
Exercise.
Fuck off.
Stay hydrated.
I don't want this. I want write concise or write down every word you can think of that might connect. That. This is not... This is advice that could be for anything. You could put this advice before a marathon. This, I want specifics.
I get what you're saying, but I don't think any pro-marathon runners are giving the advice, stop for a bit, stop and reset. It's fine, yeah? Best time ever.
I think it depends if you want to finish the marathon or get the best time in the marathon.
That's true, but I also don't... But then, I don't think people are just saying you've just got to finish the exam. They want you to get the best score.
Well, then tell me fucking how. Stop telling me what to have for breakfast and how to feel okay about my stupid idiot self, and tell me how to answer the questions.
Keep an eye on the time.
No! I know that!
Okay, 3 don'ts though, Laura.
Right.
They're largely about dwelling.
Your house is a mouldy piece of crap, that kind of thing.
Don't dwell on other people. You can't affect their exam.
No, sack this off. I'm the only one doing it. So this doesn't apply to me.
Don't close your paper when you've finished.
Why?
Because like Jacintha says, you can keep going through it.
Yeah, but then I might change answers that were already right to the wrong thing.
Yeah. It says, don't just close your paper and daydream about what you're having for lunch. You might just think of an answer
People are
that you forgot.
obsessed with what children are eating.
And then the last one is, don't dwell on your last exam. You can't change what happened in the past, so let's just leave the exam hall in the exam hall.
Useless. Absolutely useless. I thought this would be more like how to smartly... I thought it would be more things like what you were saying. Hey, there's 6 marks. Write down 6 things. That kind of advice.
Well, so everything that we've gone through so far is when I just went on the BBC Bite Size website and study support. And it's all just crap like this. It's all, my teenage brain. Why do I argue with my family? How sleep can help you
because
study.
your family are cunts.
Why do we do homework?
Because your family don't want to hang out with you because you keep picking arguments with them. So your teachers have come up with reasons for you to stay in your room.
Cooking buddies, cook and learn with Buddy Oliver.
Or with Laura and Ron, join the Patreon and go and watch the cookathon.
That's a young boy to be running a cook school.
That's Anxiety Josh's kid.
Yeah, he's way too young. Anywho, but then I knew that that's what you wanted, so I have looked up some stuff on answering specific length questions. Exam techniques. Answering 1 and 2 mark questions. Useful tips for answering 1 or 2 mark questions, Laura. These types of questions will usually only require a short answer. A mark is awarded for every relevant point that is made. The relevant point is almost always a key subject word or term.
Okay, that's good.
Always check how many marks are given for each question and then try and make that many points in your answer to gain as much credit as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Identify is usually a 1-mark question and will usually require a 1-word answer. For example, identify a component of physical fitness.
Normal blood pressure.
It says flexibility here, and I don't have a mark scheme, so maybe.
But you can be really fit and not very flexible.
Can you?
Yeah, I think so. Because, like, if you're a pro sprinter, I think you have quite short muscles because of that. Like, so you're not going to be flexible like a gymnast.
But are they not flexible compared to a gymnast, or are they not flexible compared to spuds like us?
Well, I'm really flexible.
I'm really flexible too.
Yeah, I have hypermobile limbs and joints, so I'm super flexible and not fit.
I can, like, put my knuckles on the floor.
Oh, yeah, look, I can hold my foot.
Yeah, same.
Did you know that hyperflexibility is linked to anxiety, Ron?
Well, because we're just worried our elbows are going to pop at any moment.
No, it's because... So, I was talking to my PT about this. Hyperflexibility, it means you've got extra collagen or more than average collagen in your joints and tendons and stuff, and that's why you're very flexible.
Is that why we've all got massive noses?
That's not collagen, is it? It's not collagen.
No, I'm thinking of cartilage.
Yeah, that's cartilage. Collagen is the stuff that gives your skin flexibility. It's why we're not a very wrinkly family, I think. We've got quite good skin. Like, I'm 38 next week, and I'm not that wrinkly. It's because of that. But it also means you've got extra collagen in things like your blood vessels. So it means that your heart has to work quite hard pumping things around because you haven't got that extra, like, push coming from the tightness of your blood vessels. So it means that you often have an elevated sort of heart rate type thing, or your heart has to work quite hard. So, like, for me, I lose sensation in my extremities quite easily because my blood pressure's naturally quite low, so my heart has to, like, speed up to pump it around quite a lot. And so you get the symptoms of anxiety, which then leads to being anxious because your body's gone into, like, oh god, I've got to get stuff done mode, and then your brain follows suit going, why is my heart beating so fast? Ah.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Describe is usually a 2-mark question.
This is great advice.
The points made will often need to be linked together.
Okay.
Describe one piece of equipment used in the 12-minute Cooper run test.
A stopwatch. What's a 12-minute Cooper run test?
Oh, I don't know, like running around a big barrel, I guess. Hang on, I think we can do this better, actually. Give me 1 second. Okay, right, so here's a better example, Laura. So this is from one of the longer questions, but it talks like this is like an example of sort of how you're supposed to be like linking these things, yeah? Mm-hmm. So the question here was, the question about how you could improve the experiment that we did. And I think you talked about how there was different amounts of water in the different bottles. So the what the mark scheme does is it links the point that you make and then why that is a thing. So the mark scheme reads like this: use the same volume of water, so total thermal energy of the water is the same each time, or so the same area of the bottle surface is heated by the water. So the points are linked. Use a lid for each bottle, so evaporation is reduced/stopped, or so energy loss from the water surface is reduced/stopped.
Okay, I'm going to use a lot of so's in higher tier.
This, therefore this.
This.
Yeah.
Yes. X plus Y equals A star.
Exactly. Their example, which I think is weak source, which is why I wanted to get up a better one, was a stopwatch is used. That would be 1 point. To time how long a person is running for. That would be the other point.
I said a stopwatch. I knew not to say timer.
Explain is going to be worth 2 or more.
Okay.
And this is where the sort of the so part of it comes in. So explain why the left ventricle wall is thicker than the right ventricle wall.
Oh, we need to revise the heart.
Do you want to do a revision episode as well as this?
I just don't know how we could do one episode.
No. So the answer that they give there is the left ventricle wall is thicker than the right ventricle wall because it has to pump blood all around the body. 1 mark. So it has to be able to contract with greater force in order to provide enough pressure to ensure the blood is able to travel that distance. Other mark.
Okay.
It's thicker, well, it has to pump blood all around the body, so it needs more muscle to get it around there. Bump, both points. Okay. Do you feel confident? I mean, you were pretty like this. The short ones was where you were anyway.
The short ones I was good on.
We've got tips for multiple choice questions as well here. Okay. Sorry, I got an itchy nose. The thing with and the thing with the longer ones is that it's not done in the same way as the other ones. It's not just you have to say all of the right things and you get a mark for each right thing you say. It also should be structured in the right way and link things well. Okay. Mm-hmm. So the key, the bits of advice it gives is read the question carefully. Reread the question to make sure that you're providing an answer to that question.
Okay, but it's not going to be good content.
Underline any key words.
Do we have any advice for people who are doing exams as part of a podcast that also needs to be entertaining?
No. How long do you think until they start doing GCSEs in podcasts?
Yeah. Maybe we should get in touch with them and see if they want to do a spin-off BBC bite-sized series of revision with Laura and Ron.
Yeah, and Anxiety Josh.
No! Anxiety Josh could be our producer. Producer Anxiety Josh.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
I think we should. Right. I think we should have producer Meg.
I think she's keen. She's currently, between researching things to do in Auckland, she is preparing for the 2 Crimes and a Lie podcast.
Nice. Do you think we could get her to do all the editing?
No.
Some people find it useful to make a quick plan, Laura. So that's just planning out the different paragraphs. So paragraph 1, I'm going to mention this. This is like a point, and then this is the why. This is the so, the therefore. Okay. That can help. I don't know how good that is podcasting-wise. I don't know why this is all about sport. We're in the physical education section. Well, I'm sure it all applies. Anyway, I found some sample 6 markers from biology.
Yeah, okay.
Which I think...
Because ones I think I'm really going to duff the goat on are ones where it's like, explain how to do this experiment using this barrette and a cardboard box.
Yeah. But you were actually weirdly good at those ones, even though you panicked. So...
But now I know not to panic because of anxiety, Josh. I'll probably be really good at them.
So, sample question 1, Laura, foundation. Explain why a plant will wilt if not...
A what now, I'm sorry?
A plant.
A parlour aunt.
A plant
Explain why your parlour aunt
will wilt if not watered.
Is it because she needs her tea at 3 p.m. and if my parlour aunt doesn't get my tea, then she feels hated and cannot maintain an upright posture in the bayou? Who's texting you?
Everybody.
You didn't even laugh at my fun parlour aunt bit because you were so distracted.
I liked Parlour Aunt and Buoyancy and...
I'll put it in the spreadsheet for the Patreon content.
This time it's a play.
We should do a play.
Let's do a play to all 6 people coming to fucking Cheerful Earful.
Hang on, has Cheerful Earful happened by this point? Yeah, it's happened, Ron. It's been and gone. It's been. Were you there? Well, you fucking weren't, were you?
Maybe it was a play.
You missed a play, you idiots.
Anyway, Laura, explain why a plant will wilt if not watered.
6 marks.
The 6 marks.
Okay, so first of all, I'm going to say what a plant needs, what a plant wants.
Water plant needs. Water plant wants.
Beautiful. Okay. So if I said like plants require water to make glucose for energy. Why are you putting that face? That's true, isn't it? They respire and they need water in order to make glucose and to maintain structure within their leaves. It like bulks them out. Full stop. So, if a plant does not have water, then it does not have structural integrity in its leaves, and so it gets floppy/wilty. The water goes up from the roots through the xylem, the tubes, and into the leaves and stem. Full stop. So, it just doesn't feel like there's 6 things to say about that.
So, all right, I'll give you what they've said, and then we'll do another one. 'Cause that was bad, man. Because remember we talked about, like, linking answers and stuff?
I said so twice.
Yeah, but you said so much in the first sentence that you didn't link any of those bits to other things. Water enters a plant cells by osmosis. When a plant is well watered, the cells are turgid. When a plant isn't watered, it will lose water, as water will diffuse from the cells. As water concentration is now lower outside the cell, cells will lose their turgidity, become plasmolyzed. The cell contents are no longer pushing against the cell wall, the cells will become flaccid and the plant will wilt.
Okay, well, honestly, I didn't know any of that.
Well, is that? All right, next one then. Describe the process of therapeutic cloning.
What?
This is foundation again, man.
No, what? therapeutic cloning.
Okay, let's do this one. This one you'll be able to do better. Discuss the arguments for and against stem cell research.
I can't remember what that is. 4 saves lives, so more humans do not die of diseases. Against it's playing God, so will anger God and make climate change worse. 4
Why, when you're asked to answer a question, do you stop speaking like a human being?
Because I'm trying to think clearly. Again, some people don't like stem cell research because it's expensive. So there are cheaper ways to keep people alive. However, some people think there is no cost on a human life and that all avenues for curing diseases should be explored.
No.
Why?
That's not true.
I'm sure it is.
Nobody's just complaining specifically that is too expensive.
I bet some people are.
No.
Yeah. They're always cutting NHS budgets.
All right, let's do this one, because you don't know that one.
You said I would know that one.
I thought you would, but you know nothing about it. Okay, right. Here, we can do this one. Compare the structure of a prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell.
A eukaryotic cell has...
Right, okay. Before you get into it, I just want you to think about how you're structuring this answer.
In a normal sentence, like a person talking, like you said.
But this is a 6-marker, Laura.
Okay.
So, are you good?
A eukaryotic cell has more organelles than a prokaryotic cell. In fact, some scientists believe that some of the organelles within a eukaryotic cell were originally prokaryotes that were parasitic and have now become organelles. Full stop. A eukaryotic cell has a nucleus where a prokaryotic cell does not. A eukaryotic cell is much bigger.
Have you Googled this?
No,
I
we
can
just covered this.
I can see your lips moving while you're reading.
I'm looking at you on the screen.
Close your eyes.
A eukaryotic cell, I'm assuming from that then I've got this really right. I said it's much bigger, didn't I? So, would that be like 4 marks I've done so far?
But no, because it's not about, like I said, it's not just that you have to say things to list it off, you have to structure it good.
So but it just said to describe them in comparison to each other.
Yeah, it said compare them. So look
And
for
I have.
similarities and differences.
Okay, some
So, like, for
similarities,
example, like,
they both have a cell wall. Membrane. They both have a cell membrane.
they do both have a cell membrane, yes. So the difference between that, like, so it's not just like, because you could just list 6 things about a eukaryote cell, but then you haven't compared them. So yeah, that's why I was talking about structuring your answer. So you started off by talking about eukaryotic cells, so then do a bit on them, do a bit on prokaryotes, and then do a bit
did.
I
said you.
Why are you getting cross? I'm helping.
Because I felt like that's what I did do in that one. It was every sentence I said was about both of them.
But that's kind of why the answer isn't structured, because you're talking about everything all the time.
But I was trying to do 3 comparative sentences, like one has this, whereas the other is this.
But what you could do is, the way that they've structured it in this sample one is they talk about the things that they both have. So they're both bounded by a cell membrane. They both have ribosomes. Prokaryotic organisms have a cell wall, so do plants and fungi, which are eukaryotes. Then prokaryotic ones are much smaller than eukaryotes. And then prokaryotes have an extra bit of DNA, the plasmids. And prokaryotes don't have a nucleus, they have a single loop of DNA.
Yeah, I think my problem is that I only knew to 1/3 of that. So it's hard for me to give all of that answer because I don't know all of the information to put in the answer, even if I know the structure of the answer.
Yeah, I guess that is a bigger problem outside of the 6 mark thing. How long have we been recording?
Like an hour. Can we stop?
Yeah.
Child of the podcast's home and is yelling at me.
Let's stop.
Okay. I mean, there we go, Ron. Now, surely it's A stars across the board, or 1s or 10s or whatever it is we're aiming for.
Yeah, wherever the target is, we're on the bullseye.
Nobody really knows. Thanks, Anxiety Josh, for all your help there.
I forgot about Anxiety Josh.
You were a great helpmate, and let me tell you, I'm not furiously writing to the BBC to ask them to stop wasting my licence fee on paying you. Ron, I've got an apology to make to the listeners. I'm so sorry, listeners. I know I've not put out all the alternative titles for ages. The tour is kind of kicking my butt in an attempt to be a mother, have a tour, keep up with promo for the tour ahead of time.
Be a mother, have a tour, and I'm a sinner, I'm a saint. I do not have alternative titles.
Anyway, so I know that there's weeks and weeks and weeks where I haven't done that. And maybe what I'll do is when the tour ends, I immediately have to go to Manchester for a couple of days. I will spend those hotel days just getting them all out, you know? It'll be like a library of alternate titles. Does anybody else remember Beehive Bedlam and not Beehive Bedlam? Get in touch. Let us know. We haven't had any communication from you stupid fucks for a while. Ooh, sorry, nephew of the podcast. Stupid bananas for a while. Whoopsie. Oh, Dolores said bananas. Ugh. Meg's just wolf in a cheese string. She looks so much like that sheep from the National History Museum right now. I swear it was a sheep.
Yeah, it's not a sheep. It's
like
some
a
kind of
dugong
extinct
thing, wasn't it?
tapir hippo creature.
Yeah.
I believe these two are having a chat.
We are having a chat. It's called a podcast. Do you listen to podcasts?
My mum listens to your podcast.
I know she does, because she misses us and she crazily wants to live with us, but can't bring herself to admit it.
Also, my daddy also sometimes listens to you.
I don't... Really? Oh, look at you, family of podcast fans.
Actually, I see you in the place, one of you in a place just recording, and it's just in a podcast, and my dad's just listening to it.
Oh, we've got the entire family hooked, Ron.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
That makes about 40% of our listenership.
Yeah, can you tell your parents to hop on Apple Podcasts and leave us a 5-star review?
Maybe.
Yeah, thanks, mate. That would be great. Also, sign up to the Patreon, you freeloaders. No, you're contributors to the podcast now. What else did I want to say? Oh, that's what I wanted to say. Ron, it's another week with no register because we've had no new patrons. So,
You sick fucks.
yeah, thank you to Abby Rosenthal's for your 5-star review.
Oh, yeah, we'll do shout-outs for 5-star reviews until we get more Patreons.
Yeah. Or, like, send us a little voice clip of what you like about the podcast that we can use in adverts, huh? Something like that. That could be fun.
Yeah. And just generally, like, share a thing, tell a mate.
Yeah. Yeah, but anyway, I
Graffiti a
particularly
bathroom.
enjoyed from your
Ooh,
review.
do some graffiti.
Yeah, I particularly enjoyed from your review, Abby. Sometimes infuriating brackets in the best way, and then the capitalized "listen." It felt very do it.
Do it. Yeah, it's very, very us. Very us.
Yeah, big fan. Right. I don't think there's any more notes. Next week we get into the higher tier exams, so prepare yourselves for that. What's the schedule looking like? Yeah, we're going to do higher tier bio, we're going to do higher tier chem. Then Christmas is kind of gonna sort of appear in the middle of the chemistry exam, but I like that planning for us.
Oh, yeah.
So that's going to happen, and then
we'll be starting A-level in Feb.
yeah, it's looking like we're going to be about ready for A-level by February, which is exciting. And then, Ron, new notebook, no more eating, clean cut
Profesh.
podcasters.
2025 Profesh.
Yeah. All right. Go about your week, everybody, and thanks for listening. Leave us a review, sign up to the Patreon. Because, listen, Nephew of the podcast is incredibly skinny, and we got to have some money to feed him more sweets.
The end.
Get him to say class dismissed.
Oh, yeah. Nephew of the podcast, come over here. Can you lean in real close here and say class dismissed?
Class dismissed.
Love that for us.